Hey guys, real quick before today's video, which is going to be a really great one, just wanted to let you in on a little trick if you guys aren't already aware of it. The best way to see what deck the pros are playing up to the minute is to go to statsroyale.com, click on top players, and then it will load a list of all the top players regardless of what deck they're showing on their player profile. Oftentimes Dergha, for example, who's going to be today's pro, will actually show different decks. Like he'll go on a big ladder stretch and then he'll finish it off with a 2.6 hog cycle, and then he'll make people think that he's playing 2.6 hog cycle exclusively, whereas in this case he's really playing bait mainly. So you can see, you click on their name here, and then you can go to battles. So we'll pull up their most recent battles on ladder or challenges, wherever they are. And you can see he did indeed finish off with a hog cycle deck, 2.6 hog cycle. But before that, he was playing his go-to deck, the bait deck that we're going to be talking about in today's video. So just something, you know, to let you guys know the best way to scout out players, see what deck they're playing, whether they be pros on challenges or in ladder, is visit statsroyale.com, click on top players, and then see their decks that way. So guys, let's go ahead and move on to the main video.
Yeah, well, it's the verbal Herman monster, the word enhancer, sick of phony mobsters controlling the
Hey guys,
dance floor.
what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. How you guys doing? I hope this video finds each and every one of you guys doing well. Today we are joined by Dergha. He is currently in third place, even though his profile says second place. Either way, he was in first place a few hours ago when he messaged me. We were talking on Twitter. I was like, dude, we got to share these replays leading up to 6,600 trophies. I believe he's at 6,616 right now, and this is the match that actually got him over that 6,600 mark. Can he beat the world record held by Guanek? I believe it's the high 6,700s. Don't quote me on that. I might not be exact, but I think it's around like 67, 80-ish. Anyway, he has a day and a half left to do it. We'll have to see on the leaderboards. He's been holding down the #1 spot or the top 5 spot for a while now. Dergha is not a new name to you guys. He's been on the channel before. He's a really, really, really good player here. And he's going up against a very difficult matchup here against Why Not Me from Wham Esports, a really good clan. Encountering a little BM, though, early on in the match. Let's see if he can come back, and nothing better than beating the guy who spams you with the emotes early on. So he's playing a new version of bait. It's not brand new. It was actually popularized big time in the last meta, before the last balance changes, but it's actually gotten better. For my money, it's the best bait deck that you guys can play right now, especially around like 60, around like 3,500 trophies and above. It does really well against beatdown. It does really well against bridge spam. It does really well against the meta basically right now. Hog decks as well, even better, more so than the classic bait deck. So go ahead and give this deck a try if you have the cards. The one weak matchup against this deck, though, is Expo. So that's why I figured we'd lead off with this replay. It is the replay anyway that he most recently won, again, to get over 6,600 trophies. So the reason it's so difficult is because defensively, what do we have as an answer to his Expo? I mean, besides our damage, our log, and our fireball, all we have is Miner. There's no Ice Golem in this deck, so it's hard to get through and defend at the same time offensively. Meanwhile, defensively, the opponent has both log and fireball to answer our goblin barrel. So we're going to try to chip away as much as we can with the miner. This deck is really a perfect blend between the old miner chip deck and the new kind of versions of bait with the Minion Horde, the Princess, and the Goblin Barrel. And of course, we do have that big Inferno tower to help us out against any various giant, lava hound, or golem deck that your opponent may throw at you. So here we go. We're kind of forced to play the Inferno tower as kind of a pseudo distraction tank here. It's also going to do a decent job kind of clearing the lane of those archers on the right hand side. Meanwhile, we're going to stay aggressive with those golem barrels, even though we know the opponent does have log in his cycle, and we're slowly but surely, guys, chipping away. And you can see another strategy that Dergha will use throughout these matches is playing his Princess at the bridge when he knows the opponent doesn't have a good counter in hand, and it just keeps the pressure up. Most importantly, it keeps the damage up against that tower that you're going for. It's a good tactic to use. You don't want to overdo it, but it's a good tactic to do when you just can't break through with the Goblin Barrel because the opponent has a couple of different counters to it. So here we can see we're just doing a really good job again cycling to that miner. We're using him actually in front of our Princess tower rather than directly on that cross crossbow, buy us a little bit more time, and he uses the log defensively instead of applying an incredible amount of pressure offensively in the left lane. A smart choice there. We don't want to lose the match. We'd much rather win, but we'll settle for a tie if we have to here. With only 25 seconds or so left in this match, there it is. How is he going to break through here? Well, here it is in this sequence here. He has the miner on the archers. Meanwhile, some spear goblins survive. They get to the tower. Spear goblins plus log clinches it at the end there. Ooh, GG by Nova Dergha there. Well, I didn't think he could win that match. I mean, 30 seconds left. He had like 900 damage left on that left tower, but he came through. He pulled it off. So let's go against Marie here, another really good player from Star Alliance, and let's see how he handles this giant fireball with a Dark Prince miner and the Hunter. Hunter we're seeing a lot more of. Do you guys like Hunter? I'm starting to like Hunter, and Hunter can actually counter a Goblin Barrel straight up if you pre-place him, similar to a Goblin Gang. We'll see that happen in this match if you guys want to memorize the placement for yourselves in case you're going against a Goblin Barrel when you're playing a Hunter. So here you can see we're defending against this giant push. The Miner actually does kind of latch onto the tower there. You're going to get a lot of chip damage with that maxed out Miner. We're going to go ahead and play that Princess to help out, kind of prevent a couple more swings from that Miner on the right tower, and now we're going to kind of reload here. So we know what deck the opponent is playing now. We do a really aggressive but good fireball there, taking out the Mega Minion with the Princess plus fireball. And look at this log. Beautiful log there and beautiful Goblin Barrel. That's going to be a move that you're going to see quite often that Dergha will do, especially in this match against the Hunter. So he waits until the Hunter is just within firing range. Hunter, really powerful, but really slow to shoot. So if you send in a late log, and then the Goblin Barrel aimed in front of the Princess Tower towards the side closest to you, that will help defend or support the Goblin Barrel and also kill that Hunter before he can get one shot off on your tower. So here we go again, Inferno Tower, taking care of that giant, taking him down to about 10 HP. We're going to answer that Miner with the Minion Horde, and we have some surviving minions that will have to be answered in the right lane. Meanwhile, actually, it looks like he's going to ignore them in the right lane. Meanwhile, the left lane, we saw the Hunter absolutely hard countering that Goblin Barrel like we talked about in the left lane. We take the right tower down to 1902. So splitting our damage a little bit here, but we are significantly in the lead. Again, we drop that log. Perfect timing, denying that Hunter from getting even one shot off on the left tower. Now we have the Giant coming down the left lane. We have a Goblin Gang putting some pressure, in the right lane. Meanwhile, we're going to have a charging Dark Prince in the right. We're going to answer that with a Minion Horde, and then comes the Giant in the left. We have an Inferno Tower almost on full health, so we're not really worried about this Giant. Even with the Zap and the Miner helping out, we'll be able to easily defend this using the Goblin Gang on the Giant on the left side and making the opponent kind of split their damage too. The Giant only gets one hit on that left tower. Again, we're going to log that Hunter up. Again, the Hunter gets no hits on that right tower. So you're seeing the strategy and kind of the decision making here of Dergha. You guys, as you're watching this video, I give you guys this advice all the time, but I know I do have a lot of new viewers too. What you're really going to want to do, at least what I like to do when I rewatch these videos, is try to kind of decide what decisions the pro makes in certain situations, and then kind of gauge it on how you would react. In other words, kind of try to make the decisions before the pro does as you're watching along, and then seeing if they kind of verge or agree with you or disagree with you in terms of what choices they actually make in the battle. So for example here, I'm looking at the starting hand of Dergha, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, what's my starting play? Well, Princess in the back. Okay, that's what he played, so it's probably the correct play. Now I'm thinking, okay, what am I gonna do? If it was me, I'd probably send in the Miner to the pump, and I'd probably send in the Goblin Gang in the opposite lane of the Princess. That's exactly what he does here, but I wouldn't have pre-logged there. But now that I see that Dergha would have, I bring that into my next match. Obviously, the pre-log didn't really pay off there, but a log against an elixir pump almost never really gives you a negative elixir value because you're denying them the elixir anyway off the log. And when it works out, it's beautiful because you figure if they're playing pump, it's a 50-50 that they're playing a golem deck or a Three Musketeer deck. If they're playing a Three Musketeer deck, they're probably going to answer your miner with a Goblin Gang. That's why you send in the miner to one side, and then you send in that log on the same side as the miner, as you saw there. So that's kind of how I watch these matches. It's how I'd advise you guys watch the matches too. Just kind of, you know, kind of gauging what decisions they make, comparing them to what decisions you would make if you were in their place. That's how you get better at the game. I don't want you guys just watching these videos for the heck of it, just listening to my amazingly high-pitched nasally voice. It'd be better if you guys actually picked up a few things and come away with a few victories. So look at that exchange that I just kind of talked over there. The opponent dropped Three Musketeers, making a mistake behind the King Tower. They probably should have dropped them in front of the King Tower. Of course, hindsight being 20/20 there, but the Princess able to get tremendous value for us on that right tower, taking it down ultimately to 104 and finishing off two of those Three Musketeers, or at least getting two of those Musketeers down low enough where we could easily finish them off with a fireball. So here we go. Now, going into double elixir time, we have a huge lead here on the right tower being that low, and we do have fireball, so we know we can finish this match with one fireball if only we can defend first. So let's see how he handles it. It's going to be another great push here. A miner, and then a goblin barrel, and then a princess at the bridge takes that left tower down to, and look at this, another fireball. Oh my god, that's going to take that left tower down, or at least very close to, with 17 HP. This is going to be very tough to defend. We're pretty much just going to lose the left tower. So the left tower is going to be down. We want to make sure we keep that right tower as healthy as possible, knowing that we can finish off this match with simply a miner or a fireball on the right. In this case, it was a miner. And then we can finish off the left tower with a log. Before we send that log in, we're going to defend first. So here's the defensive stand. We have Princess, we have Goblin Gang, we have Fireball, takes out the Giant, takes out the Minion Horde. Now we can drop the log. There it is. And now we can just drop that Inferno tower, knowing he has Battle Ram, and just defend. 5 seconds left. That's going to be GG. That's going to be the match. So far we've seen a Giant beatdown deck, an Expo deck, and then a Three Musketeer deck. What else should we watch before we let you guys go? I think a Hog deck. We need to see how to beat Hog, because Hog suddenly is everywhere, not just in ladder, but also challenges. Hog, I venture to say, has never looked this good in the history of the game as it does right now. Let's hop into this match here, guys. You can see he's going up against, by the way, his other account is Abdullah Mohammed. That's in the Kuwait team. Shout out to those guys as well. And we're going against a 20-game winner, a really good player at the bottom there, a Hog player. So we're going to answer with a Goblin Gang there. He's going to immediately log and get one, no, make that, yep, just one swing on that left tower. It's been a while since I watched these replays before the video. Sorry, guys. So here comes the miner getting a little bit of chip damage for Dergha. We're going to go ahead and nicely reset, or the opponent's going to nicely reset that miner onto those skeletons. We're going to stay aggressive here with the Princess at the bridge. A Princess at the bridge is a play that we will do against Hog decks and quicker cycle decks, such as that Expo matchup that we saw in the beginning. Basically, it's going to allow us to keep up that pressure, make the opponent make plays, aggressive plays that they normally wouldn't want to make. So here we go. It's going to be another Goblin Barrel, knowing the opponent does have log. They opt to log, but they miss one of those goblins, and now the minions are actually going to get to the tower too, taking it down to, less than 2,000 HP. Way less. Look at that, 1,550 HP left on that left tower, all from those minions kind of surviving from that previous Hog play on defense. So let's see what decision we make now. We do have a 1 elixir advantage. I'm not sure if Dergha knows it, but here it comes. It's going to be a miner and Goblin Gang. Knowing he doesn't have log in cycle here, he does have that Musketeer ready, and look at all that damage those Spear Goblins are getting, guys, taking it down to 730 damage, and the opponent just can't break through here. Look at that aggressive Fireball, taking it down to 438. We're going to lean on that Inferno tower. We do have log ready if we need it. That will kill that Musketeer. Let's see if we use it. We don't even use it. We don't need to use it. That's another decision that I probably would have played. I probably would have played the Inferno tower and then immediately with the log as well to kill that Musketeer. Turns out we didn't need it. Another decision that I'll take into future matches. So now with only a minute left, a little bit over a minute left, we're going to play a Princess opposite lane. Always play your Princess with this deck towards the tower that has more health on it. Don't ever give your opponent a positive aggressive elixir trade, fireballing or poisoning or whatever the princess, even logging in the same lane. So he's going to drop the early GG with 50 seconds left here. He's going to send in that miner. That minion will take down that left tower. Here comes the aggression here, sending in that goblin barrel, taking that log out of the opponent's hand in the right. There's still enough time here for the opponent, but you know what's going to happen here. They're going to go all in that left lane. So we're just going to be ready for it. This is a preemptive fireball, taking that Inferno tower down to about 50 health. We're going to fireball everything there ourselves defensively, and that's pretty much a GG for real now, guys. We're going to send in that miner on the right tower. Again, staying aggressive. We're picking our spots, but we're not unloading on offense. We want to make sure we save enough for defense there. We're not going to drop the minion horde until we first see the fireball. There's the fireball. There's the minion horde. That's going to be a good game. Never give a lot of value by pre-placing your Inferno tower and then your minion horde at the same time, knowing they have fireball. Make sure you spread it out. Make them use their spell, then you drop your other defensive card. So huge shout out to Dergha. You can see his player stats and profile on statsroyale.com in the show notes below, as well as the deck link. Huge shout out to Dergha for coming on the channel, and a huge shout out to Bren Chong, my YouTube partner. Check out his information in the description below. Guys, thanks so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.